Okay. Hello, BookTube community. Welcome to another installment of Erin's Book Club. And this installment is actually a very special one. A few days earlier, I did a book haul and an excited book haul of my very first book where an author contacted me and wanted my opinion on a book. So I rushed through reading my magazine and started looking at the book, and it was funny. I sat there and looked at it, and I thought, well, this is exciting. But what happens if I don't like it? Because I can't, say I like something and not. That's not the way I am. So I was kind of worried. So when I opened the first page and started reading the first sentence, I was kind of worried. I'm like, well, what'll happen? Let me first go out there and say that, Don, you are an artist. Your words paint not only the picture of the sand beneath your feet, of the sky, of the humidity, of the trickle of sweat down your back because you can barely breathe. It paints the picture so well that you can be there, you can feel there. And not only that, your words paint the picture of the soul, so you can also feel there. You can feel the heartache, the anguish, the broken person that you started with, and you can feel the guilt and the gut-wrenching helplessness and the no way to get away from it, and the grief. It's almost like you know what it's like to feel never-ending, pit of your stomach, utter loneliness, grief. I have never had a non-horse book touch me the way that the Mourning Parade has. I flew through this book. In fact, I finished it yesterday. I didn't get to bed till midnight. Now, I start work at 5:30 in the morning, so I get up at 4. I didn't finish till midnight. The way that she starts the book off as you're with the main character, and it helps, of course, that the main character is a veterinarian who specializes in horses. That drew me right in. That's me, right? But the brokenness of that character drew you right in. You wanted to go in and give her a hug and hold her and talk her through the absolute terror that she wakes up with when she suffers from her PTSD, with the shooting of the boys, and the twist in the end with the shooting of the boys. I wasn't expecting it, and it was so refreshing to get a book that has a twist in it that I don't expect. Like, hit me out of left corner. Both the twists hit me out of left corner. The villain, she's taken so much time crafting this villain in the book that your blood boils when you even read the first sentence about him. You want nothing more than to have the main character walk over to him and then beat the living crap out of him. And then at the very end, when something happens, I'm trying not to give away spoilers here because you guys have got to buy this book, but at the very end, when something happens and you want nothing more than to really hurt this villain, she then turns something else into the villain and said, yeah, he's evil, but did you know this about him? And then it's like, well, I can't hate him now. And you want to hate him. The characters are so in-depth and so real, and she follows the storyline of the book. So it's not like, yeah, storyline, happy ending, everybody loves it. It's the storyline is perfect all the way down to the end, and the ending is believable. And as much as it was difficult to read, this book was something I was not expecting. This book was something that I actually didn't get my housework done. I know she did that with her other book, but this one sucked you in, took your hand, and pulled you all the way through. And when the images got difficult and when you didn't want to continue, there was something there saying, no, you've got to keep reading. You've got to keep reading. And that's what this book does. And the back of it really doesn't do it any justice because it intrigues you, but it doesn't. It's so much more than the back of this. Let me read this back to you. Okay. Single mom and veterinarian Natalie D'Angelo lost everything the day her 2 sons were killed in a school shooting. Following her psychiatric's advice, She decides to sell her once happy home and escape the immense pain and grief of living there alone. Desperate to find relief from her unspeakable loss, Natalie impetuously commits to honoring her boy's memory and volunteers at an elephant sanctuary in northern Thailand. But she soon realizes that she may be in over her head when she faces three major challenges. Her debilitating PTSD, amazingly described, by the way, like, you did great with that, is creating night terrors. Peter Hatcher, hate him, can't, but hate him. The sanctuary's irresectable in-house vet, and Sophie, a female elephant with raging leg infection and PTSD caused by the human abuse, is demanding that Natalie use every trick in her veterinarian's black bag to heal her. Can Natalie and Sophie find a way to heal together and learn the love life again? Or will another tragedy shatter Natalie's progress? This deeply emotional novel explores the capacity of a mother's love and the challenge of overcoming devastating loss and the long, tiresome journey of healing. Doesn't do it any justice. You read this and you think, yeah, that sounds good. Sounds great. You have to get into this. You have to read it. I want to go through two more things here. In the book, the the author switches over to the point of view of the elephant, and what I love is when they switch over to the point of view of the elephant, you get a little elephant picture and the blurb, right? So don't change that part of the book. That's the best part of the book. Secondly, one of the training techniques that the veterinarian uses in this book is created by Temple Grandeur. Temple Grandeur is my hero. She's a high-functioning autistic who revitalized and changed the entire slaughterhouse industry to do it more humane. I watched a movie about her, and I'm saving up for some of her books. So for Dawn to go and do the research on that, find it, and have it work in the book, fell in love with her all over again. This book is just, I can't say enough good things about it. Now, I'm a little biased because I kind of like elephants, kind of like horses, love animals, and I'm like, the main character is me to a T, so that makes it difficult to be unbiased. But as for a advanced reader's copy, I love everything about it. I love the picture of it. The picture of it now makes sense that I got to the end of the book. But anybody who likes elephants, anybody who likes animals, anybody who has loved an animal and lost an animal, or loved a human being and lost a human being, anybody who's struggling with emotional scars, doesn't even have to be PTSD, but emotional pain, where you don't think anybody's going to get it, this book gets it. You need to read this book, and you need to read this book in a room by yourself with very little distractions. Kind of like the cat screaming, but you need to read this book, people. That's all I've got to say about it. I know this isn't a very organized book review, and I was going to like write a script and everything else, but I needed to wing it because the passion this book has brought out in me just needed to come to you guys raw. So sorry about that, but thank you for listening to me talk about this book. But you guys need to go out and buy The Mourning Parade. That's just all there is to it. Thanks so much, Dawn, for giving this book to me and asking for my advice, my opinion. I do think that you and I should talk, because I have a rescued horse that's been through hell and back that I think you would be perfect to write her story and honor who she is, or at least put me in the right direction, because like I can't spell and I can't write stories to save my life, but what you did here is just stunning. So thanks very much, guys. Have a great day.